I'm just waiting around for a truck to come and pick up some products, so I'm just going to do a quick video showing you what I built this week. I made some of these chairs. These are kits that are made by another factory. So they come in a box and I put them together and do my finish. But they're not too hard to assemble. It takes maybe 30-40 minutes to do each one. And they make an armchair version too. So I sell different versions of these chairs. I don't sell too many of them anymore. They used to do pretty well at the stores I worked with before, but not so much the ones I work with now. And I made this table, which is kind of a unique, different kind of design. And it was actually a design from another catalog. There's another factory out there somewhere that makes this same exact thing. But I got a custom job based on that design in a different kind of finish. So this is solid walnut. I'm just kidding. Did I fool you? It's pine. I did a walnut stained, patinaed finish. So it's a stain and a patina. It's not just a stain. That has a different effect. So anyways, I did footage for this build. I didn't do like a complete step-by-step, but I got most of the important steps involved in making this piece of furniture. And so that'll be coming at some point. I don't know when I'll have time to compile that footage into a video, but it'll be available at some point. It may offend some people, just as a disclaimer. How I built this piece of furniture is going to offend somebody's sensibilities, because I used a lot of screws. Okay? I mean a lot. In fact, there's only one joint here which has a dowel in it. The rest of it is just screwed together. But it's pretty sturdy, and you can't see any exposed fasteners outside or inside the frame. So I screwed it from the top and the bottom. And I used glue too, as well, to reinforce it. But it's really pretty sturdy. And I left the surface kind of rough. You can see some of the original mill marks that are left on the table surface. So this could be called skip planing, where you just do kind of a skim coat off the top surface. I didn't run this through my planer. I just kind of did some hand planing and did the rest of the work with the sanders. But it kind of just gives it a more varied effect, more of a rustic appeal. I thought it turned out all right. And then on the base, these are the saw marks just off the table saw. So I actually put a dull blade on my table saw so that it would leave more of a texture on the surface. And then I just lightly sanded it with 150 grit just to break it down a little bit, but you can still see all the marks. And that just gives it some more texture to blend it in. So it's not so smooth, and it takes more of the darker tones when you put the stain on. So, but I'll tell you, painting this thing, doing all the finishing steps, really tested my patience. There's a lot of inside corners here. It took over an hour to do each coat, which is a long time. And then I got this table over here. I did not make the base. It's got a rustic twig style base. I've never actually done this kind of work, but this is actually an antique. I could tell by the fasteners that were used, the nails are pretty old. So this has definitely been around a while. And it had an existing top that was made out of what looked like crating material. It didn't look very good. So I was asked to make a new reclaimed wood top for this table base. And this is going to sell in a store somewhere. I'm not sure where. So I used a couple wide planks for this that I had kicking around in my garage. These are 16 inches wide. The color ended up a little bit light on these. The darker color was actually on the bottom side. But it's nice when I can find reclaim that has, you know, these circular saw marks. That means it came from a very old mill. So the wood is likely older if it has that pattern. And it creates a nice effect on the surface. The customers always like it. I did have a minor problem with this. The original top I have over here, wrapped up, and you can see it's got some paint on it, and I didn't notice that when it was dropped off, but it definitely had some old paint on the underside of it, so this was probably got lead paint on it. I wasn't too happy about that because I don't like it when people drop stuff off that, you know, is a hazardous material. I should have a sign outside the building like no repairs or finishing if lead paint is suspect. Because if you don't know if it's lead paint, you should probably just assume it is if it's got the age. You can tell by you know the way it disintegrates and how heavy the chips are, you know, if it has lead on it. But chances are if it's really old, it's not too good to have around. So yeah, I had to tear out the lead painted boards and put new stuff out, and you know, created a minor hazard here in my shop. And I'm going to have to take those boards to the dump and dispose of it. But you know, watch out for that kind of stuff. You know, it's happened more than once to me. You know, where somebody wants me to repair something. You know, and I'll just look at it real quick and you know, see if I can do it or not. You know, but then when I start tearing it apart, then you know, you don't know what you're going to find. You know, you could open it up and then, you know, all that lead paint and dust can, you know, just go airborne in your shop, in your home. You know, it's no good. Well, that's a different topic here. I'm just showing some projects I've been doing this week. So. No snow on the ground yet, but it's coming. I got to get my dust collector changed. Maybe I'll do that today. Because when it snows, that means I, you know, pretty much locked in. All right.